Peace. Only the truth matters. Now, they say that Muhammad is from the area of Mecca, and also he moved and lived in Medina. But if that's the case, then everything I'm about to say in this video should also be the same as that of the Mecca and the Medina. Okay. In my research of the proofs of the ayats, I found the main thing about the location was that it had gardens, grass, trees, mountains, and specifically say Mount Sinai. And from the story of Noah, it says Mount Judy. It had caves, rivers, seas / ocean. You know what I mean? Because nowadays they say this is a sea and this is an ocean. But back in them days, it was all called seas. And other thing was rivers. That's what distinguished the big body of water from the small. You know what I mean? Rivers, they had rivers, and it was by the oceans or the seas. Also, it was, fresh salt water. That's how you know it was like they was close to a waterfront. Like they lived next to the water somewhere. It's being talked about. It was a hot climate. And they will wash, and it says that they will wash the seas They will wash the ships traveling through the seas / oceans. Okay, that is like the main surrounding thing, points or habitat, you know what I mean, where they lived at. Whatever. Now, it doesn't talk about it talks about animals, but not like much of a variety of animals. But it states that and that all kinds of animals. You know what I mean? God spread out wherever Muhammad was at. God spread out all kinds of animals. Because this is not talking about a global earth. This is only talking about a specific locale. That's what's being talked about, and all the proofs where it talks about these things. It's a specific locale where the messenger lived at and gave the message of God to the people. Okay. There's sheep, goats, camels, cows, horses, donkeys, mules, birds, bees, and through analogy, a mosquito, a fly, spider, and moths. And plus, God said they eat from the sea. So that was whatever animals they was catching from the sea, they was eating that. And then we have, by extension of the other messengers, you got Moses. There were snakes, frogs, quails, and the fish. So they must knew of, if God is speaking to them in their language and they're in a specific area, they must probably either have these animals also in their habitat, or they know of it from travel in their travels. Okay, so Jonah, there was a whale, which fish, whatever. Solomon, there was the ants. Joseph, there was the wolf. And the young men of the cave, there was the dog. Then God speaks about all kinds of fruits. That would probably have to be also included in like vegetables, maybe. Maybe the word vegetable wasn't used back then. I don't know. Maybe they didn't have the. I don't know if they even had the word vegetable. I'm not talking about nowadays. I'm not talking about modern day Arabic. I'm talking about back then Arabic. You know what I mean? But anyways, there are dates, grapes, pomegranates, olives, mustard seed, scented herb, honey, oil from the tree of Mount Sinai, I was mentioned, milk from the cows. And they made alcohol from dates and grapes. When God says, and you make from the dates and grape a strong drink. So that means that if they making alcohol, that means that they're using it and consuming it. Okay. Where was I at? Okay, yeah. And then for Moses it was corn, lentils, onions, and garlic. And then they had metal. The word hadid. The word hadid is always translated as iron, but maybe they didn't have the word what we have nowadays, metal. Maybe that word wasn't a familiar word to them. So the iron was the familiar word. But who's to say it's particularly just iron? Because if they have gold and silver, that's a metal. So that word metal fit better for hadid for our time. Okay, so they have metal. God talks about them getting pearls and corals. God talks about them getting pearls, and then God mentioned corals also in the sea. So the pearls and the corals, that they will wear jewelry. So in Muhammad's time, they was wearing jewelry. You know, pearls and coral was like, maybe that was their thing. Maybe they didn't have diamonds back then. I don't know. But that's what it spoke about right here. And then we have what is very crucial to where this took place, where the messenger of God brought the reading, the mandate to the people. Here in 1636, they were told, this is repeated also. This statement is repeated, that they were told to travel through the land and the sea. It mainly should just say land, but this one here particularly say they traveled through the land and sea and see what was the outcome of those, you know what I mean, people who did wrong. God destroying the people, you know what I mean. So they were able to travel through the land and find out what was the outcome of these people. Okay. 1597, the people of the wood, or the companions of the wood, where they were destroyed at, it is located on the main road. That's what that is saying. 1576, the people of Lot, their location is still on the path. It's still on on the way. It's still on the path. Right? And then from here it says 25 and 2540 that they passed by where the people of Lot was destroyed. They passed by it daily. So that's why it's saying the people of Lot, the location is on the path, is on the way. You know what I mean? It's on the way. So they're able to walk by where the people of Lot was destroyed. And last but not least, in 1445, it states that, and they live in the places where those who did wrong. They live there. They live in the places of those who did wrong. They live in those same places. So, Mecca and Medina, what we have nowadays over there in Saudi Arabia, it will have to fit all of just what I said. All of just what I said will have to also fit them two places for that to be where the messenger of God was given the mandate of God to the people. You know, that's pretty much it. You could Google whatever I said, any kind of animals or the place where the people were destroyed. You Google it, whatever, and ask Google or whatever, Gemini, whoever, does this happen in Mecca or Medina? Do this grow in Mecca and Medina? Is this in Mecca and Medina? Or whatever. Just do that and then you figure it out. You know what I mean? As you read the reading, you see the landscape will start coming just start coming to you. You start seeing it, you recognize it. You be like, okay. This is where you from. Peace.